What's up, guys? Today we got a pretty crazy story of a girl who does something in school that, let's just say, she shouldn't be doing. Leave a like in the video to claim your free nothing, and let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Jake. So this was Jake's freshman year. He was in 9th grade at the time. And there's another girl in his class who we're going to call Hope. And Hope was a decent student for the longest time because they went to the same middle school together. They lived in the same area. But for some reason, like the second that Hope hit like high school, she immediately fell off. Like she just was so clearly not caring about her classes, like always late, skipping a bunch of classes, which is, not the biggest deal in college, but a pretty big deal in a lot of high schools. And it was pretty clear that she just kind of had her priorities somewhere else. If her priorities were anywhere, that's still unknown. But anyways, they also rode the bus together. So this story all happened one day. So they're on the bus. And they would usually, sometimes they'd sit near each other, and if they sat near each other, they were friends enough that they would, they'd say what's up, they'd say what's good, they'd talk to each other a little bit. Was Jake trying to pull? I don't know. You tell me. Jake didn't tell me, which, by the way, if you want to submit your own story, go to Instagram, look up connorpugs, follow me, and then send me a DM message with the entire story. Don't send me a message saying, hey, do you want to hear a story? Yes, I do. Anyways, so sure enough, right? They're on the bus together one day. They're talking about whatever. This is probably like January, February, early February. And they were in one of the states, United States. It gets really cold. It's icy. So this morning it was pretty icy. They must have not had like a lot of salt sweepers on the road or something. And Jake, Hope, they're talking about, I don't know. I think they have a class together, or for some reason, they're talking about something. They're getting into it. And that's when Jake just kind of feels the bus almost lose its traction. And it just slides into the bus in front of us. So it just slides into the bus in front of it. So there was since the roads were kind of icy, and the traction on the bus was okay, but for some reason it was just icy enough, or something happened and kind of bumped. Everyone in the bus was fine. But they kind of pull over, make sure everyone's okay. They all have to get out on the bus. They're going to be late, but it's definitely a decent excuse. Jake is kind of standing there with Hope, and Hope is like, dude, I just can't. I just need this day to end. It was a Tuesday as well. This isn't some Friday, which you're going to see the rest of the story. Kind of interesting, but you get it being a Tuesday is low-key a good detail. Anyway, so Jake and Hope are kind of standing out there in the cold. I mean, they have kind of have a sweatshirt on or whatever, so they're dressed for it to be kind of chilly out, but they spend their entire day inside. They don't have winter coats on. And at this point, Hope's this day's already so garbage. I wish there was a way to make this day better. And was that foreshadowing? Yes, that was foreshadowing, but the moment Jake didn't even know. It's clearly foreshadowing. That's why I even included it in the story time, right? So anyways, they eventually get back on the bus. The bus is fine. Insurance claim, photos, all that kind of stuff is done. They're about an hour late to school. They're super cold. They're sitting there, and Hope is just wow, I wish I had a way to make this day better. And she kept on saying that, and, Jake was kind of just okay. He was kind of just yeah, I wish I had a way to make this day better too. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's a Tuesday. It's freezing cold. We have to stand outside in the freezing cold for, over an hour. I have to go to my class. I have to sit in there. I have to get lectured a bunch. Yeah, of course I don't want to be there. Anyways, let's fast forward towards the end of the day. It's the last period class, probably only about 30 minutes left, so really towards the tail end. So Jake's sitting in class, and I don't know, he kind of just wants a stroll, kind of just wants a quick little break before he goes back. So he raises his hand and he says hey, teacher, can I go to the bathroom? The teacher's yeah, sure, whatever, go ahead. Jake definitely used this trick a lot. I mean, it's not a trick. It's a very common thing that I did this all the time, middle school, high school, even my classes now. I bet you guys do this too, when it's oh, I need to go to the bathroom. That really just means you want to go on your phone and play Clash Royale or something, or just go on Instagram Reels. And do you have to go to the bathroom? Sometimes you do. Sometimes you don't. Really depends. Anyways, though, so Jake just kind of, he kind of wanted to stroll. He's almost done with the day, but he just needed a little break to get him through the last bit, right? So he's walking down, and so Jake never used the normal high school bathroom. I'm sure a lot of you guys who are in high school now or have been in high school, you guys already know just how garbage public high school bathrooms are. It's always some nonsense going on down there. If anything, I know a lot of people intentionally try and regulate their they're like taking a number 2 schedule around not doing it in like the high school bathrooms. Like they'll try and like do it as soon as they wake up or hold it till they get home just because it's that bad. So Jake had a kind of a new strategy. His strategy was just to use the teacher's bathroom. Because yeah, was he allowed in the teacher's bathroom? No. But the teacher's bathroom was like, you know how like the other, like most bathrooms are kind of like there's a bunch of stalls, there's sinks, you can come in. This is like a one-person bathroom. So the door locks behind you. It's one toilet, one sink. It was pretty great. And Jake used it all the time, and he's never had an issue with it. The only one time that something happened was, he got a knock on the door, and he was like, occupied. He tried to like lower his voice a little bit, so it seemed as if, I don't know, he was older than he really was. And the teacher's like, oh, okay, I'll be back. So the teacher leaves, because if the teacher stayed there, that would have been a little bit of a problem. Anyways, though, so on this day, Jake's walking out of class, and he walks to go to the teacher's bathroom. And Jake doesn't knock because, like, normally what I do at least is I just kind of, like, open the door. And if the door's locked, then, of course, you give it, like, a little bit of a knock or whatever. Or you just, and most of the time, I don't even knock. I just open the door, and if it's locked, okay, someone's in there. Word. Like, I don't need to knock to be like, hey, are you taking a dump in there? It's like, yeah, buddy, the door's locked. They're doing something. I don't need to know. Anyway, so Jake just opens the door, walks into the teacher's bathroom, and he just sees Hope there. And Hope is sitting there, crouched on the toilet. Like, the toilet seat's down, and she's sitting, like, on top of the toilet seat, like, crouched, with a bottle of clear liquid that is an adult juice liquid. And if you drink too much of it, it feels funny. It's made out of potatoes, and it's like Russia. Okay, if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, then you're maybe 6. I don't know. No. Anyway, so just know it's something you're not supposed to be drinking at school. So Jake looks at her. He's like, Hope, what are you doing? Anyway, so like Hope like gets up and closes the door behind them and locks it. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't lock that. Like, I'm so like, you literally gave me like, Jake, you gave me a freaking heart attack. I thought like a teacher was walking in. I could have been so screwed. And Jake's like, Hope, we have the day is almost done. Why are you doing this in the teacher's bathroom? First of all, you're lucky it's me who walked in here and not someone else. Like, if someone else walked in here, you'd be screwed already. Like, can you not wait till you get home? We're almost done. We have 30 minutes left. Like, can you not just, like, wait till you get back? She was like, she's like, Jake, I told you, this day is terrible. I need to find a way to make this day better. And Jake's like, oh my God, like, can you not just wait? We have 30 minutes, probably at this point, like 20 minutes until the bell rings. You can go back home, go in your room, do whatever you want at this point. Like, at that point, who really cares? Do you have to do this now is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, so at this point, Jake's like, all right, well, I'm just going to go. You shouldn't be doing this right now. You could get in super big trouble. She's like, oh, I know I can get in big trouble. Like, you don't think I know the risk of what I'm doing. And so Jake's like, all right, well, Hope, I'm just going to leave. Please, like, just don't do this again. She's like, oh, you're not my mom. And he's like, okay, whatever. So Jake gets up and he turns around and he goes to open the door. And that's when they both hear possibly the worst thing that they could hear. They hear a knock on the door. At this point, Hope and Jake just kind of look at each other. And they're both kind of looking at each other with this look of like, oh no. Like, no way. No, like, like, okay, how do we get out of this now? So anyways, Jake's like, occupied. And instead of the person like being like, oh, okay, and leaving, since it's like the faculty bathroom, I think there's only like one faculty bathroom. Or if there are a couple, the other one's kind of far away. So the person responds, okay, I'll wait. And at this point, Jake thought that like this was going to be like last time that this happened and the person would just leave and then he'd be able to slip out and they'd come back when he's gone. But no, this person's going to wait him out. So at this point, Jake, he looks at Hope and he's like, they look at each other and she starts whispering like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And at this point, probably the teacher's like overhearing like whispering from people coming in the bathroom. Jake's just like, oh, it's like, this is just so bad because if it was just him in the teacher's bathroom, he'd probably get chewed out. Like, hey, can't be in the teacher's bathroom. Like, only teachers are allowed here. Students can't be in the teacher's bathroom, all that kind of stuff. But he's going to walk out of the teacher's bathroom with him and a girl in a one-person stall, you don't think that's immediately going to look suspicious. Not only are they both in the teacher's bathroom, they're both in it at the same time. Right away, though, Hope hides like the bottle of whatever, right? That's number one. That gets her expelled if that's found. So she hides that in her backpack, which she brought to the bathroom, which is, yeah, okay. So eventually, Jake looks at her and is like, I think we just got to open it. Like, I don't think we can wait her out. So Jake opens up the door, really hoping it's going to be a chill teacher that just kind of lets them slip by and looks at them funny, but they walk by fast enough, or it's just the teacher's like, I got to take like a massive dump. Like, I don't have time to do all this. But they open the door, and no, it's like notoriously the most like strict pull up the butt teacher in the entire school. And Jake's thinking to himself, oh, no, this makes sense. Of course, yeah, this is just my luck. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment closet down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. I'm going to try and heart as many comments as I possibly can. So if you want a better shot, comment closet 3 times in 3 separate comments. Higher chance I'll see your comment and heart it. Anyways, though, so immediately the teacher looks at them, looks at Jake, looks at Hope, then looks at both of them again, is like, oh, no. You guys are going to the front office right now, and I'm going to escort you. Sometimes when a teacher says, like, oh, go to the front office, I mean, sometimes it's just like they're sending you up there. You could dip and not actually go. Okay, if you have a class with them, it's kind of game over. But if it's a random teacher who will probably not see you again, then yeah, you can kind of, sometimes you can dip if they don't follow up. But this teacher was the most stickler. And you know for a fact that she's following up. She's bringing them right up to the front office. She's making sure. She walks them up. The whole time Jake and Hope are just looking at each other. So walks them up. And, she's like, you guys are going to be in such trouble. And anyways, opens up the door, goes into the principal's office and is like, I just caught these two, both in the staff bathroom at the same time. Like, you got to have a talk with them. The principal's like, oh my God. Sits down. The principal's like, Jake, Hope, how we doing? And Jake's kind of like, what? Because he's never met the teacher before, or the principal. But I guess the principal is pretty good with names, and probably seen Hope a few times in there before. Anyways, though, so immediately, like, Jake's sitting there, dead silence. The principal's like, what were you guys doing in there? Like, why were you both in the bathroom? First of all, you're not supposed to be in that bathroom, but why were you both in there? And Jake's like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. My friend, Hope and I are friends, so, she just wanted to talk to someone, so I was kind of hanging out in there. I know it's not a hangout spot, like, I'm sorry. And he's like, it's not a hangout spot. And like, Hope, like, what were you doing in that bathroom? And so she says something like, oh, I'm sorry, I really just don't like, or like something was going on in the girls' bathroom and I just wanted like a private spot. I know I shouldn't do it. I won't do it again. However, Hope's breath just reeked of what she was just drinking. Like the moment, the millisecond she opened her mouth, Jake was like, oh, yeah, dude, like he immediately was like, oh, it's over. We're screwed. Because the thing is, too, he's not going to like breathalyze them. This isn't like a police investigation. There doesn't have to be all this evidence. Like the principal can just suspend them or expel them both under suspicion, especially because he's going to then search her bag, which has a whole bottle of it. And he's not going to be like, oh, let's do a breathalyzer test. No, in school, they just find enough evidence and they're like, bang, you're gone. So at this point, John's like, I just wanted to leave class 30 minutes early, or I just wanted to get a bathroom break, and now I'm on the brink of getting expelled. Like, this is actually the worst luck ever. Yeah, so anyways, the principal looks directly at Hope. He's like, Hope, have you been drinking? And Hope's like, no. Like, she gave the least convincing no. And the principal kind of just shakes his head. He's like, oh my God. At this point, Jake's like, oh, I'm done. Like, I'm at this point, I'm done. Look, at the end of the day, like, Jake would defend himself and he would say, like, smell me, like, run a test. I think Jake would literally go and get a test done himself just to prove his innocence. He would still get in a lot of trouble for being in the same vicinity. But the principal is actually kind of chill. So the principal says, look, I'm going to just pretend that I didn't smell anything, and I'm going to take your word for it. However, you both were in the school, but like in the teacher's bathroom, you guys were there together. You guys get 3 days after school suspension. You get out of here before you get a worse punishment. Basically, the principal is saying, I'm going to like, it's not a slap on the wrist. 3-day suspension sucks. But he's like, you guys are getting this punishment. And if you like question it or say a word or do anything, you're going to get the full on deal because I know I can get you. But the principal is being super chill with that. So he gets out, walks away. Jake is just honestly, he's a little mad because now he has to walk to after school suspension. He has to explain to his mom. Like, it's still going to be pretty balls. However, he is still like, I don't know. You ever have something bad happen, but you're super psyched and happy about it because it was that bad thing instead of something 10 times worse? Yeah, Jake was low-key, like, he wasn't literally skipping, but he was essentially skipping to his detention because he just got out of getting expelled, basically. Which, I mean, he shouldn't have even been in that position in the first place, but hey, man, live and you learn.